Yeah, this is a kitchen basic that everyone should know. It's a white wine cream sauce. It's super easy. You can have it with pasta. You can use it as the base of a soup. But yeah, it's pretty easy to do. So I got water boiling. It's super salty. I'm only making 1 bowl of pasta, so I don't have that much, obviously, but you can double or triple this if you're cooking for you and a friend. I'm just cooking for Brendan today. I got some dried pasta. I'm gonna add enough that he'll have a decent amount of carbs for breakfast. I bought some dried orchetti. When you buy dried pasta, I'll buy high quality stuff. You can obviously make fresh pasta too, which I'll do in another video, but today we're just going to use this because it's quick and easy. When you read the ingredients, just search for semolina flour. That's usually how you know that it's pretty high quality. Make sure there's like at least double the water in there when you put the pasta in, or even 3 times the amount so that it doesn't stick together. That oil in the water trick that everyone talks about is a hoax. The reason pasta will stick together is there's not enough water and it's all way too close together, but the oil in the water thing does nothing except make your sauce not cling to it. I got some oil heating up here, just over medium-low heat. We're gonna sweat these things, which are about 2 cloves of garlic, half a shallot, whole bunch of thyme, and we're just gonna cook these kind of slow.
Well, so what you saying when you're saying sweat?
Sweat means you're cooking things to not achieve color. So it's almost always aromatics, onion especially. You'll cook these until they become soft. And when onions become soft, they actually go clear as well. But you just don't want it to pick up any color. I got some mushrooms. So we're gonna make this into kind of a wild mushroom cream. So I have some maitakes. You can use whatever you want. I just happen to have a few of these left over. I got some cremini. And because the size of the pasta is obviously a little bit smaller, I don't want to cook or cut these like full mushroom slices. I kind of want to do them in half and then cute little quarters. And then we'll salt these right now. And add a little bit of black pepper. And we're just gonna cook these until basically the mushrooms are cooked. The mushrooms will kind of leak out some water. So what's cool about that is it'll stop your shallots and garlic from picking up any color, because they'll be steaming a little bit. But yeah, we're just gonna cook those low and slow, and then we'll build our sauce on top of that. While we wait for all this stuff, we're gonna make a little garnish. Pasta, let's say I got a tablespoon of parsley chopped up, flat leaf parsley of course, and again, since it's 1 bowl of pasta, I'm gonna do just a tiny bit of fresh garlic, maybe, this is a big clove, so about 1/3 of that clove. Keep it kind of chill. I'm going to do half a lemon's worth of zest. And this is nice because the sauce obviously is a cream sauce, so it's super rich. And this will kind of brighten it up and cut through a little bit of that richness. Now we got a bunch of dry stuff in here that we need to mix. Obviously that's not going to mix that well. So I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil to help mix this up. Now this is mostly olive oil, and I have a tiny bit of truffle oil in here, which is going to be nice because of the mushrooms that we're putting in there. But you can use just olive oil. I wouldn't use just truffle oil because it's obviously quite strong. But just enough, should look like that. Like, we're not looking to have it very oily. It's just kind of nice. What else was I gonna put in here? I'm gonna put a tiny bit of juice in here. And I'll probably put a little bit of black pepper in that as well. And this is just so that we can kind of it's like you can do this ahead of time and it can just sit in the fridge. And then these are all the things like you see on top of the pasta anyway, so why not just kind of make them into this little condiment instead of having to put a bunch of elements on at the end. Like they use the word deglaze, which is like putting liquid in a pan to get the caramelized bits off the bottom of the pan. But in this case, we didn't caramelize anything. Also, it's a non-stick pan, so there's nothing like sticking to that coating. So we're just adding white wine because we want the flavor. I got a little juice box of wine. You can use cooking wine. You can use, if you got odds and ends bottles somewhere. You can use like a quarter cup. I don't drink, so I went to buy this juice box of wine. And yeah, we're gonna put that on and reduce it by like a little bit over half. And then at a little bit over half, we'll add our cream. Whenever I'm cooking pasta, I always keep a little container to snag some of the water that the pasta is cooking in. This water is like really good sauce making stuff. So when the pasta is like ready to be drained, which it is, I'll put a little container under the strainer. You can just scoop some out with a cup. Doesn't really matter how you do it. But I just want to save some water because it's really starchy and good to build a sauce with. So now I have the pasta drained and I got all this starchy water. So if I find my sauce is not sticking as well as I would like it to, I can use some of that. And you can just throw out whatever you don't use, but it's just better to have it and not need it if you don't find. As well, I took out of the water maybe like a minute early, so it's still like got a little bit of chew to it, because we're gonna finish cooking it in the sauce and kind of play around with getting the thickness of the sauce right. So yeah, undercook your pasta just a little bit. When I put this all in, I kind of looked where the liquid level was on the side of the pan, and then once it's a little bit over half reduced, then I kind of know where that spot is on the pan, you know, give or take. Okay, so I just added the noodles to our white wine that's reduced by half. I'm gonna add a little bit of cream.
Like we're talking how much they're not in no specifics, but
It depends how rich you want it. The thing is like the cream will get thick. So like sometimes, I don't know, it's like how fatty you want it. Like definitely when I make pasta by myself sometimes, I'll use like like 300 mils probably, but that's also like a lot of dairy in your body. But I don't drink milk or anything, so I rationalize it like that. Also, okay, so this is also like a base sauce. If you wanted to turn it into an Alfredo, you would add a bunch of parm at the end. If you wanted to do like a more French style, you could use sherry instead of white wine. What else could you do with this sauce? You can season that cream with whatever you want. So I've done like a grainy Dijon cream sauce where they use the grainy Dijon mustard in there. And that's super nice. You can add tomato into that, some pureed tomatoes, and turn it into a rosé sauce. It's just like a really good base sauce to know how to make. Okay, so this sauce is reduced, nice and clung to the pasta. And yeah, this was like really good quality pasta, so I actually didn't use much of this pasta water. But when you're buying like the really cheap like non-semolina stuff, I find that it doesn't cling to pasta very well. So I'll use quite a bit of that reserve cooking pasta. But yeah, if you're buying dried pasta, just buy high quality stuff. And then we're gonna go to the plate. Okay. There we go. Just a classic white wine cream sauce. Do it up however you want. You can put pesto on it if you...
Gio got the fans, huh?
pasta guy? guy?
You're a pasta guy, man.